Huh.
Totes Recall.
Ooh, welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well at all. Then we pause the recording. We watch the movie. We eat pizza and salad. And then we come back. And now the discussion is framed around do remembering the movie because we did watch it. Yeah, I am do the intro, Dan, and this is Totes Recall.
This is Molly.
Oh, I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this episode is My Cousin Vinny.
Whoa.
Yay.
Yes, do watching Cousin Vinny.
I was
My
so
Cousin
close. I got to the 2/3 through it. I was like, I am crushing this intro. And then that thought completely derailed me.
Hubris. That's your downfall.
I'll get a good intro to our podcast before episode 100.
Nice.
Well, it's just like the hubris of a big city lawyer coming to a small town.
Wonderful.
Is that what this
transition.
Yes.
That's right. Yes.
Have you seen
he
this
is a
movie?
big city lawyer.
Have you seen this movie, Dan?
He's an
Also Dan?
I've seen this movie. What?
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking what the movie was about.
I just wasn't sure if he was a big city lawyer coming to a small city town or if he was just like some schlub who had a law degree.
I can't remember if he's like a big city New Yorker or if he's just like vaguely New Jersey, and it's more the like dynamic of like North Atlantic Yankee coming to small town Alabama.
It's in Alabama?
That seems right.
Jaquette's
It's definitely
bet.
someplace
so.
in the South.
Huh.
It's not Georgia.
There is the most Southern lawyer of all time, or judge of all time.
Oh,
Really?
yes.
I'm excited about this.
Oh, and he's going to be so familiar to us, and we won't remember his name. Molly's bet.
It's a really good bet.
Yeah, that is a really good bet.
So just to clarify, I mean, he's from a big city, but I don't know that he's a big city lawyer. Like, he's not a successful lawyer.
I see.
Yeah.
That was where I
Yeah.
got confused because my
Yeah.
recollection of this movie is that he is like not even necessarily usually like a trial. Like he's not like even maybe have ever been a trial attorney until this moment when he's like, oh, my cousin, whatever, he needs to be down in wherever to be his lawyer. Like in my mind, this movie literally starts with like two dudes like in, being in jail and him being like, oh, my cousin Vinny, I'll call him. He's the lawyer. Oh, and then I don't know what happens after that.
I mean, they do not start in jail. This was a family favorite movie for me growing up at my dad's house. My brother, father, and I would watch it frequently.
You're who?
My brother, father, and I.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone else in the
where
house at this point?
Was there
or?
anyone else there? Was there?
You guys.
You know why that would be true. I mean, we talk about it all the time.
All right, fine.
My parents are divorced.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is a favorite at that house.
Mm-hmm.
They lived in separate houses, Molly. And yeah, I mean, that's I guess the podcast.
Was
Oh,
it what?
So how many times do you think you've seen it?
Oh,
like, was it
dozens.
VHS?
This was like one on,
Was it
on
taped
the
from cable?
VHSs, recorded from cable. Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't referenced that in a while. My longtime Totes heads may remember my father. Scam is too hard of a word. Asserted his property rights where they were stringing
I don't think it
cable
was a scam at
television
all.
cables to get free cable for life, to allow cable to be strung over his airspace. So we had...
I would go so far as call it a hustle, and a successful one at that.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a fair deal. I'd say it's capitalism.
Right, yeah. The free
He's just
market.
using the tools that are given to him.
Exactly. So we watched it a lot.
So like how many times do you think?
Oh, a dozen?
Like once a week or like?
No.
Wow, that's a lot.
Was this like a let's just put it on because we don't know what we're watching?
Well, no, we would intentionally watch movies. It was like, oh, let's have movie night, popcorn and apples dinner, or whatever. But this was like one that we always came
in one bowl.
No, they're 2 bowls.
Popcorn and apples.
Okay, I don't know.
And
It's good.
wait, we've talked about this. You slice the apples.
Yeah. Apple slices.
Sounds like you didn't have braces as a child.
I did have braces. I had braces for a few years.
You were
Do
eating popcorn and apples? It's like the worst diet.
Well, hey,
Doesn't
I
get
live life on
jammed
the
in those
edge.
braces?
I wasn't eating a whole
okay.
apple. They're sliced apples.
Hey, cool it. Cool it, teen. If you're living on the edge.
What
Do
is
those people
happening?
not
right
eat apple slices as children? Is that a weird California
Not with
thing?
popcorn.
I've never thought of those two as a combination that I would like go to,
Well, check it out.
or was offered to me. Maybe is more
You
of the
get
problem.
you get a salty
Maybe that's the problem.
carb
Uh-huh.
and a sweet fruit.
I get it.
Yeah, sounds good.
I could see it.
Listen, I'm willing to try it tonight
Whoa!
when we watch My Cousin Vinny, and I will
Okay.
report back in the second
Oh,
half
I love that.
how delicious it is. I wonder if we can make some more bets about the movie.
Okay.
Sure, I
'Cause
mean,
I
I
will
was
say I have
trying to
also seen it a number of times, but just on cable. You know, it's just one of those movies that always comes on TBS and
Yep.
TNT.
Mm.
So I feel like I actually know it pretty well, almost to the point of memorization.
Wow.
wow. I'm pretty sure I've only seen this movie once.
Yeah, same.
Really?
I saw it once, like, within the last year. I
Really?
think, or maybe
Are
2
you
years.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it back in the day. I don't think I saw it in the theater, but I definitely saw it, within a reasonable amount of time for like, oh, hey, that movie's on video. Let's watch it.
Like in the new releases section?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Which I'm going to say happened in 1995 too.
Whoa, what a pivot.
I don't know. I was trying to remember how old Joe Pesci is, and I'm like, he's pretty old.
I'll say
And is Ralph Macchio in-
90.
90.
Ralph Macchio
Probably a better
is
bet.
the one who has the cousin.
The Mach is in
Yeah.
this too?
Yeah.
This is the other Macchio movie.
I'm going to be
Ah.
so interested to see what it's like watching him now that I've watched all of Cobra Kai
Yeah.
and seeing what kind of actor he is now. I'm wondering.
Are you, Molly, do you think that this will be like peak Macchio attractiveness then? If he's younger than Cobra Kai, but old enough for it to not be inappropriate,
He's probably like 20 something, right?
right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like college kids going somewhere.
Yeah, why are they
On a
in
road-
Alabama? Because they are like very New York, Jersey, right?
Yeah.
They're on a road trip, right? Because they've got that sweet convertible they're driving. It's like
Yeah.
a mint
Ooh.
green.
Sweet
classic.
convertible, you say?
That's
Yes,
right.
I think
yeah, they're on
so.
a road trip. I don't know where they're going. Maybe they're just going.
Are they?
Maybe they're going to school?
Oh shit!
To
Are they on
expect
spring
they're
break?
on the way to
Spring break
college.
woo?
Whoa. Gulf Shores?
Maybe.
And then they happen upon a crime scene
Yes, at a
at
gas,
a gas
station.
station.
Are they on
there-
trial for murder?
Yes.
Is this like a real deal trial?
It's a real deal. They're going to get killed.
Okay, great.
They are there before
So
the
stakes
crime.
are high.
Okay.
Mm.
And I think this movie's great. There's like a really I think it's a well-crafted way that they get confused and wrapped up into this murder thing. Because they kind of get in a little too deep before they're like, wait, what's happening? Because they inadvertently steal a can of tuna. They're grocery shopping at this mini mart. And one of them's like, oh, I got too many groceries. Oh, jeez. I better put this tuna in my pocket because I don't know where to put it. And then they get in the car and they're like, oh, jeez. I stole this tuna. And they're like, it's just tuna. Who cares? But then they get pulled over and the cop's like, you know what you did. And they're like, yeah, we do. Sorry. But like what they don't know is that right after they left, someone came in and like killed the clerk.
Oh no!
So this is another. I think I referenced
That's-
this on another episode that I have a big fear of being confused into going to jail, like there being a
Right.
misunderstanding
Yeah, I mean, that's a
that
reasonable
I'm in
fear.
jail.
I mean, that's a reasonable
That's
fear because a
absolutely
lot
what
of
happens to
times,
them.
like, yeah, I mean, because a lot of times, like, people will just sort of get essentially like psychologically manipulated into admitting that they did something. So because then the cops can just check off a box.
Yep.
Cops are terrible. This will be great. I'm going to have opinions about many of the characters in this movie, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have all that Yeah, all that stuff about confessions
Mm-hmm.
and how cops either really subconsciously sometimes seed the information
Mm-hmm.
and then seize on the information that they've seeded
Yep.
and not realize that they're doing it.
Yep.
And sometimes they do. But
Oh,
sometimes
sometimes
they
they definitely do.
Oh, sure. I don't mean to sound naive, but I think sometimes it really is. Basically, I watched an episode of 60 Minutes. So
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Braggy.
That is
I
very
feel like
braggy.
this movie came out earlier. I'm going to say 91 to hedge
I-
my bets.
Yeah, I mean, Beth said 90, so if you want to be spicier, you should go into the 80s.
I'm afraid to go into the 80s.
I honestly am not. I am honestly regretting that I said
I'm gonna
92.
go high. I'm gonna go
Really?
original Dan bet of 95.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm a thief. I'm a
What?
tuna thief.
Oh,
How old would you have been in 95, Dan?
13. See, I'm 35 now, so 13.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I was,
Okay.
I mean, we didn't see it in the theater. This definitely came into my life recorded onto VHS.
Yeah.
Delivered with popcorn and apple slices.
I mean, maybe. I can't say for sure that I ate popcorn and apples and watched this movie. I'm saying this is the movie that aligns itself with that experience in my childhood.
I see.
Fair.
This,
fair.
like, Goonies, the Star Wars' movies, is
Oh, yeah.
Frisco Kid, which is a movie I've never met anyone else who's seen.
I have no idea what you're talking
yeah, I
about.
don't even know
Harrison
what
Ford,
that is.
Gene Wilder in a Western comedy. It's great.
Sure. Okay.
Oh,
Dan's bet. Marisa Tomei is in this. I do not recall what her relationship is with any of the other characters. I just know that her performance was lauded.
She won
Yeah.
a
You know,
statue
she-
for this.
yes.
But wasn't there all those mean rumors, and I don't know if they were true or not, but mean rumors that she didn't win, that the
Yeah.
What?
person who was giving the award read it incorrectly?
What?
I heard those rumors as well. I believe I would love to hear more about that in the second half of our show. If anyone feels like they want to do a little research.
Yeah, like
movie.
if like there's just certain scenes in the movie that don't quite catch your attention, like maybe take that opportunity to just like do a quick scan of some informational.
maybe like some encyclopedia-based websites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like nothing too crazy. Like don't pay for it, right? Like
Right,
don't you have
right.
to pay for it.
I
Yeah.
mean, unless I want to
But yeah,
donate $3,
Yeah.
Yeah.
$2.99.
She is the titular Vinny's fiance,
Oh, okay.
and she crushes, and she has
She's
an
so
incredible
good.
flower jumpsuit,
okay.
Yes.
floral-based jumpsuit.
Interesting.
And a very famous speech where she says that her biological clock is ticking like this.
Yeah, and she stamps her foot a lot.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm going to
she's
be
great.
interested to see
cool
what I think of
stamping.
their relationship now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what the age difference between Marisa Tomei and John Pesci is. Joe Pesci
Pesci.
is. I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I can't remember who co-stars. Is it someone we should know who co-stars with?
With the Manch? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of who that is.
Will we recognize the prosecution?
I don't think
I think as character actors, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but not as famous. I don't think, but maybe I'm wrong.
Who knows? Who knows where people's careers have gone since My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah. I remember, there's a lot of like Columbo moments that are really fun. With like grits and some other things.
That's the only thing I remember. I only remember
Oh,
the
really?
grits thing. And I don't even remember what it is other than he's just like, yeah, I like my grits like this. Boo, boo. And somehow that like proves that someone has their timeline wrong or something.
Yeah, he gets grits. Peek behind the curtain in my personal life. I've been eating a lot of grits this last week.
Whoa.
I don't know
I
if-
can confirm. Dan likes
if
to
I'm-
announce what he is eating with his cup of tea in the morning on our podcast Slack channel. And I can confirm he has been enjoying grits quite frequently.
It's great.
Yeah.
Grits also was a cereal I ate at my father's house.
Because of this
Had
movie?
Maybe.
Mm.
We had a hot cereal rotation on the weekdays of cream of wheat, grits, and oatmeal.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yep.
I would not have thrived in
Wait,
that
what are
house.
grits made out of?
Yellow grits or corn?
Okay.
Yellow
They
grits
were
or white grits?
White grits.
White grits. Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
So you would go
cheese?
from wheat, corn to oats,
Yeah.
and then just the cycle continues?
Yeah. and then
Okay.
pancakes, scrambled eggs on the weekend.
Wow.
Well,
Living the
I want-
dream.
I
And
want
then you just
breakfast
reach out
now.
your window, grab an
Pull out a bunch of
avocado or an orange,
But I
get high-fived by a cool dude on skates.
yeah.
Headed to the beach.
I will bet that the diner cook that introduces grits into Vinny's life will be an MVP.
Okay.
Wait, you're saying that he starts enjoying grits only when he goes down there for the
He has
trial?
never heard of a grit.
Oh.
One of the LOL lines is, "What is a grit?"
Right.
This is exciting. I'm very excited
Yeah.
about this now.
Man, it's so
He goes,
Columbo.
How many grits?
What?
How many grits?
Beth's bet. Marisa Tomei's character actually closes the case.
Ooh.
Yep.
Is she the Hermione of My Cousin Vinny?
Yes, I believe she is.
Actually, yeah.
That she knows about cars.
Yeah.
So she's
Correct.
able to like identify the car or why the car wouldn't be that car or something.
Yep.
And then, yeah, she's the last witness, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. She crushes. God, I'm excited for this movie.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of it. I could go off, but maybe that's less fun.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, I feel like I could describe like scene by scene.
Am I the
But-
only one that doesn't remember most of this movie?
No, I mean, having just seen it like within the last year, I don't remember most of it.
Like, we've pretty much covered everything I know of this movie, which is Marisa Tomei's in it, Joe Pesci's in it, Joe Pesci's a lawyer, somehow grits help save the day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that pretty much covers it.
Here's a bet I'll make.
Okay.
I bet some of the prison-based humor will not hold up.
Ooh.
Yep.
I will double down on that
The
bet.
dangers of prison life humor.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
I don't even know if this is a bet, but a thing I will be watching for is how regions get stereotyped and whether it's more fun in this case because both sides are sort of fish out of water-ish.
Right.
Like you sort of get a sense that each side is exaggerated. Whereas
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I could go my whole life without another Deliverance reference or people referencing Forrest Gump as like what Southerners are like. I think maybe Minnesotans and North and South Dakotans got a sense during Fargo of what it's like to have your regional accent turned into like the punchline. And so I guess I'm sensitive to that for the South. But I don't remember feeling that way watching this movie. And I don't know if it's just because it includes stereotypes from other places.
Well, I was thinking about that today. I was curious how you would respond to that because in this, I don't remember like the Southern people being the idiots.
Right.
Like Joe Pesci is like a big dum dum who like thinks he knows everything and doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
And in the end, he knows things. But like he comes in like all swagger, and he is the fool instead of Southern people. And there's like some small town stuff, but it's not. I don't know. I don't remember it being played for laughs of like, look how dumb these Alabamans are.
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
that's what I remember too, and I'm just going to be really interested to see if that's my perception now, if that holds up, and if it's just I'll be really excited to see that.
Having just seen it for the first time recently, I remember leaving the movie like really liking it. So
Oh, great.
And so like to me that's a good sign that it is something that holds up. Like if I had just seen it for the first time and I wasn't like yikes, because there's some movies that you watch now and you're like what is even happening in it.
Yeah.
So
I
is
do
this
have
one
a bet that Joe Pesci wears a leather jacket.
In court?
Ooh.
I believe so.
Oh, is it like a
No.
blazer?
I don't know. I feel like he wears a leather jacket and he's like kind of a
I-
cool guy.
Yeah, I picture him wearing like some kind of hat.
Okay, what kind?
Right.
Like what kind of hat?
Like, like sort of like a fedora or a pork pie kind of deal,
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
Just sort of like, hey, I'm a ooh, I'm a Joe Pesci type from New Jersey, York area. I'm wearing my hat and my jacket.
Check out my tri-state members only jacket.
Yeah, something like that. Right.
I think
don't know.
I think you're right, Beth. I think there's a whole fun run of like wearing the right clothes in court.
Mm.
And he's a real. He doesn't get it. This Joe Pesci.
I'll be very curious how. Ooh, this feels like one of those movies where I bet like it'll mostly be played as a comedy, but I feel like there'll be moments that'll be like realer as hell than we might expect, just because it's about a murder trial.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's one really moving moment where Ralph Macchio and his friend are kind of coming to terms with the fact that they're probably headed to death row based on the defense that they're getting. That feels pretty real.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do a good job of making this, like letting it be funny and then reminding you of the stakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do we think the judge will tell someone to watch themselves?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to. I wish I could remember who plays the judge, because I remember one of my film production classes, they pointed out that, they got someone pretty famous to be the judge, I think. But if you think about it, they were able to do all those scenes pretty quickly, so it was probably just a day rate.
Sweetheart deal.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm just so curious who that person is.
Yeah. I will bet his exasperated eyebrow game is on point.
Nice.
On fleek. Can I
Sure,
still
'cause
say
they're
that?
eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
What's up? 2018.
Yeah. Gen Z, feel free to take a snippet of this and make fun of us on TikTok. Yeah.
We'll never see it.
Yeah.
Unless somebody...
That's true.
Unless somebody tweets it out later.
Right.
Exactly.
Squad goals. Am I right?
Yes,
Tay-
you sure
Tay
are.
heads?
Tay.
Well, I'm ready to go to ratings.
What are we rating it? How are we doing
do
this?
we think it's going to pass the Bechdel Wallace?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We got Marisa Tomei.
Yes. I'm going to be Beale Baggins bold.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the whole thing. I'm going to
Partial
say
credit.
yes.
Okay.
Just because I want it to be true.
Sure. I'm going to be a pessimist and assume that Marisa Tomei never interacts with anyone except for Vinny and their cousins, his cousin. And I
Yeah.
guess whoever's in court that day that she's talking to.
I will also be Beale Bull, Big Man, Butcher, Blair, Beth's boyfriend, Baggins, Bold Big Man. And say that Marisa Tomei talks to like a stenographer. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
is
was-
the stenographer named?
Yeah, I mean that's the real stretch. But I'm gonna be the version of Bold I just said.
That was Yeah, that was going to be my bet as well, because in a courtroom scene in the 90s, it's likely that the other lawyer is not a woman, but the stenographer is.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
true. Very, very true.
And there's
Yeah.
always like a joke of like read that back
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
sass. And they'll
Yeah.
be like, ooh.
So you think that's what's going to happen is stenographer will read something back after being named and told to read it back, and then Marisa Tomei will be like, hey, that's, I don't know.
That's
That's
not
Yeah.
true.
slander.
Did you get that, honey? And she'll be like, yeah. And then they'll be like, girl power. And they'll fist bump.
Boy.
Okay, now I'm less excited about this movie. If that's what's going to happen.
It is the 90s, right?
Yeah, or baby
Oy.
tees.
Yay.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
going to
Listen
rate
to
these
E6.
based on Macchio grits.
Machio
Machio.
grits.
Macho grits. Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Are these, is this like a parallel to like a Cream of Wheaties ad campaign where it's just like Ralph Macchio on the cover of a grits box and he's like advocating for eating grits?
Hold
for
on.
health?
Quick clarification from Dan.
Okay.
Do you think that all those sports people are on a cream of wheat box and not the cereal
what I
Wheaties?
said?
You said cream of Wheaties.
Oh,
Which I guess you could make
give it a-
if you like put some effort into it.
I only like hot cereals. I'm on a big
Oh.
hot cereal kick after my cookbook told me that mass-produced dry cereal was one of the great American tragedies. I should eat hot cereal. That's the good.
Cookbook told you that?
Yeah, Debbie
Downer.
The cookbook.
Debbie Downer's cookbook for sad men.
Here's how to cook things and feel bad about it.
Yeah.
We'll start with some sea bass.
What was your question, Dan?
Oh my God.
Is Ralph Macchio on a grits box as a spokesman for grits?
They're grits.
That didn't answer
That
his
question is posed to Molly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's grits, but instead of they're great, he says they're grits.
Is he in his Karate Kid uniform?
Yes.
Nice.
Black belt.
Whoa. Very cool.
The black belt of breakfast soggy food.
Okay. So we're saying this is this like okay. Are we saying it's a range of 1 to 5 Ralph
Boxes.
Macchio boxes? Okay.
Yep.
Not servings. This is boxes.
Right.
Okay.
Boxes.
Great. So we could potentially have 5 Karate Kid Ralph Macchio limited edition boxes.
Yeah, there's a toy. You got a toy in here?
Yes.
Price inside?
What's the price?
Like a,
It's like a
headband?
tiny gavel.
Oh,
oh.
I love it.
Oh, karate,
Okay, so
a
the-
Karate Kid gavel.
Yeah.
From the
So
scene
it's
where he was
like-
like, I'm a lawyer now.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that's how this movie opens, right? My Cousin Vinny is in continuity with Karate Kid,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, Vinny
So, like-
and Pat Morita are having a beer
Yeah.
back in Jersey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
It's like,
that
I'm gonna
movie
take a road
definitely
trip
took
now.
place in.
Oh, well, they were from Jersey. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, Macchio grits.
Great.
Dan.
I love it.
You are first, as we all know.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I'm Dan. I'm going first. Yeah, I don't. As I said, I've already enumerated every element of this movie I actually remember, but I do remember enjoying the movie when I watched it, whenever that was. And you all seem to be pretty confident that it'll be not bad. So I will say 4 Macchio grits with a chance to get just one more of those boxes. Get the Macchio quintet going on my countertop.
Collect all 5 toys.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ooh, there's different toys?
Yes.
Are they all gavels?
No.
Each one's
Oh.
a different
You got
color
the gavel.
You got the red gavel. You got the green gavel.
Gamma ray blue gavel.
Yeah. I mean, we can, depending on what our ratings are at the end of the show, Molly, you can tell us how many different toys we got.
Got it.
Okay.
On it.
Thank you.
Beth, you are next, as we continue to all know.
Yes, I go second, and I am doing that now. I am going to say 5.
Wow.
I remember thinking it was very funny and entertaining, and that's what you want a comedy to be. So 5 grit boxes.
My name is Dan. I know that I am third, and I will acknowledge that here. I am also going to go 5. I'm going to swing for the fences, powered by the
justice.
strength
Oh.
of grits.
Nice.
I liked this movie as a kid, and I think it's better than as a child's viewing, a teen's viewing, we'll say. I think there's more depth to it that I didn't pick up on, and it's only going to be enhanced by my 35-year-old brains and eyes. I have 2 brains.
Wow.
That's my time. I now cede the floor to
Really?
the representative from Molly.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so I must have watched it on TBS and TNT for some reason. So I'm going to be not that Beal Baggins bold, butcher, best boyfriend, big box banana bow.
Crushed it.
Thank you. 4.
Great.
4 Macchio grits
I love it.
fortified with karate.
Whoa. Okay,
wow.
now I'm very excited about
This
this
is
product.
a sales pitch.
This is amazing. Trademark, copyright.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Ralph Macchio about his likeness, but everything else, trademark, copyright,
Yeah.
registered.
Patent
Yeah.
office.
All those. All of them.
And with that, we're going to press pause, go watch My Cousin Vinny, and we'll be right back. Hey, listeners. Thanks for listening to Totes Recall. I have an exciting announcement for you. Beth K. Gibbs has been designing beautiful designs for us for a long time, but now she's designing things on shirts.
Yeah.
I mean, and other merchandise too. You can't see me right now, but I'm wearing a very cool Cool It Teens t-shirt. And it is soft and luxurious.
And cool.
Highly recommended. And you might think, oh, it's going to be too expensive because I described it as luxurious. But I promise you, it's not any more expensive than any other t-shirt for any other podcast as far as I know.
Mm-hmm. Molly, if I were like, wow, you look so cool. How do I look cool too? Where would I go?
I would direct you to totesrecall.com/merch. Now, you don't have to use the /merch, but it just saves you some clicking later. We also really want to thank a couple of our patrons. We are going to shout out your name in lights, and our first patron is Martha Fowler.
Martha Fowler.
Martha Fowler.
Martha Fowler.
Martha Fowler. Martha Fowler. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, Martha.
And the other patron we want to thank is David Whitman.
David Whitman.
David Whitman.
David Whitman.
David Whitman.
Right?
Great
David
job.
Whitman.
Thank you so much. And if you're interested in becoming a patron and supporting this work and getting awesome, different merchandise that's not available in the store, check out totesrecall.com or patreon.com/totesrecall. And we'd love to welcome you to the family, which you're already a part of, but you could also be on Patreon. I don't know. Somebody stop me.
Like you'll get into the tighter knit events, right? Where it's like sometimes you only have so much room at the table, so you can't invite everybody.
You know how when all your cousins seem to kind of connect with each other, but not with you or your sibling?
Yeah.
So right now, as a listener, you are just me and my sibling. And you could be like all the other cousins that seem to have formed a friendship somehow and left us out of it. You out of it. So do that.
This analogy tracks for everyone. Everyone can relate to this very broad situation.
Yeah.
Really cute t-shirts.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody. And now we're back to the podcast. And we're back. We just watched 1 hour and 59 minutes of talking and lawyering and some stereotyping.
Not as much as you might expect, though.
Yeah,
a little less. So, pretty good.
Pretty good.
That's what I'd
is
say.
the top of the half review for Molly Chase.
Nice. Great. Good preview.
Stick around for the whole half to find her final review.
Yeah, who knows what that translates to Machio boxes.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But before
we'll
we dive into it, we have a segment that, much like Marisa Tomei in this movie, wins awards nonstop.
Exactly.
Can't
Thank
stop
And which
winning.
awards are they again?
we won. Let's see. Last year we won
The Grand Prix.
we won the Grand Prix in the
Mm-hmm.
2000.
Oh, and let's not forget about
Yeah. I'm gonna be fucking sweeped at the.
Yeah, that's true. So those are, check them out.
Did my mic cut out for a second? I felt like maybe my connection got
No,
weird.
I heard the whole thing, so-
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Our clean sweep at the. So that segment is, of course, 60 second summary. Hashtag 6xsum.
6xsum.
I am not going to do it. I just did it. I think someone else should do it.
Nice.
No, I just did it.
Unprecedented.
I just did it,
Oh,
and
that's
it was
just
the
it?
worst thing that has ever happened on the planet.
Wow, disagree. But
All I
okay.
know is we definitely should not do it as a group anymore because that is
Wow.
is bad when we do it, and
I'll
I don't
do
get
it.
enough time to do it.
Oh,
Oh,
I see.
Oh, you
I
took
see.
the full 60 seconds.
I
Fine,
see.
I'll do
Okay.
it.
Okay, I'm setting up my
No.
No,
Dan
we
Linden
don't.
said he was going to do it.
Oh, I didn't
He
hear
said he was
I
going to do it, and I'm
God.
setting up
Dibs.
my timer.
Get your
Right
shit
now.
together.
Rabble.
Jeez. All right. Ready, Dan?
Yes.
And go.
We open on a road. It is the South. We know that because there's a sign that says what state you're in, and then a sign that says what county you're in. We see two hot teens in their hot car. You know they're in college because there's a book in the back of their car that says something about being in college or something. They get a store. They buy stuff. Then a cop is like, ooh, we're getting pulled over. And they're like, oh, geez, we stole this tuna can. And then the cops keep asking about the
30
stuff that they
seconds.
did. Oh, my God. So they accidentally confessed to murder. He calls his mom. Bill calls his mom. He's just like, Ma, we need a lawyer. Oh. And then they send Cousin Vinny, who's wearing cowboy boots and leather. And he is a hotshot lawyer in that he is hot. But he has not shot very many shots.
50 seconds.
Oh, my God. 50 seconds.
5 seconds left.
Oh, my God. Okay, so then he's bad at a lawyer, but then he's good at a lawyer because his fiance helps him because he finally listens to her.
Time.
And
Pretty
anyway,
good, though.
anyway, they get the electric chair at the end.
Too late.
Oh, no.
Can't have it.
It doesn't matter. It's
the one
not
I
official.
saw.
It's not
I didn't see
official.
it.
It's
Okay.
not part of the 60
I see.
seconds, so I can say
Okay.
whatever I want. Oh, and then he turns into a fucking dragon, and it's
Wow,
That's
got
why we
real-
get the awards.
You got way
great.
down with the setup.
yeah. I really got in the weeds on the
College books.
unfortunate circumstances that got Vinny's cousin into that situation rather than the majority of the movie, which is the consequences of that situation
Exactly right.
being the trial for murder.
The
Yes.
murder trial.
Yep. But in general, it was great.
The summary or the movie?
Summary.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
How many Machio grit boxes would you give my summary?
Oh, 4.5.
Oh, not bad.
Room for
Yeah.
improvement?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Now, is that a half empty box or like literally like half a box? Like physically the box has been cut in half.
Yeah, it's someone has karate chopped the box in half.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it's just
Double
spilling
karate.
out grits.
Did
It's,
half the grits
Very
remain in
cool.
there, or do they get scattered?
yep, they do, and then it's secured with a tiny little black belt.
Oh, I get it.
All right.
Yeah,
I accept.
cute.
That is cute. Do you think it got chopped from the inside because of all the
Whoa.
karate enrichment?
Inside job.
Those fortifications.
Watch
Fortification.
your grits
No,
is an
it's
inside
definitely
job.
external
Look it
chop.
up. This movie came out in 1992. Dan Linden's
Oh,
quick thinking on changing his bet paid off.
I did a real My Cousin Vinny on that year bet.
Yeah, first you were
That's pretty
terrible, and then you were good.
Yeah. And then I crushed it.
Yeah, you just had to get the procedure.
Procedure.
Yes.
Siege.
yes. So 92,
Mm-hmm.
even though on the show we're all 35, in 1992 I happened to have been graduating from high school.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a real bummeroo that I hadn't pieced together the release of this movie to something as monumental as that. You know?
I mean,
You
did
would
you
think.
watch it like the night of your graduation?
Your like graduation
I don't
party
think
was just
so.
like
I actually think I
My
didn't
Cousin
see
Vinny
it until it was on. What are you doing here? Get out of this high school.
Hey.
You
Everybody's wearing a
graduated.
circus suit at the party.
Honestly, teens, anyone out there, if you do throw a My Cousin Vinny themed graduation party or like dance, please God let us know about it because that sounds incredible. We will give you the official Totes Recall coolest teens in America or the world award.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First
we're coming
annual.
up on 30 years. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The anniversary. So next year it'll be 30 years.
My Cousin
Since
Vinny
this movie
University.
came out.
Yeah.
In my head, you were.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh!
Molly, are you having a revelation?
No.
Are you-
Oh my god!
I mean, you were 5 when you graduated high school. It's canonical.
Oh my god! I'm so old. 30 years.
I mean, to give you a good idea, that I'm 35, but also I was 3 years old when this movie came out.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I'm actually pretty close to being 35 years old.
Hey.
Not quite.
No. Guys, I think Molly needs a moment.
Okay, sorry.
No, I've never calculated it.
Well, I
But
mean, we've
that
never
is
had the
shocking.
opportunity to measure via the release date of My Cousin Vinny before.
So
I feel like I need to text all my friends and say, "Do you realize how old we are?"
No, can you, without context, just text him like, do you realize when the movie My Cousin Vinny came out?
Just think about it.
You realize our prom movie, My Cousin Vinny, is almost 30 years old.
Prom movie.
Yeah, you guys didn't have a prom movie?
Yeah, every high school traditional prom has a prom
We
movie.
watched
Curious
Sleepy
about what my prom
Hollow
movie would
at
be.
my prom after party because we were nerds and we just ate candy and watched a movie and went to bed. And I gave my date a hug
Nice.
and wished her well.
Oh, how sweet. What a gentleman.
Very sweet.
Well, you could call me that.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was 30 years ago? Doesn't matter.
Was
Canonically,
it 19? Come on. When did you graduate high school?
The year 2000.
Really?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
It's
Wow.
easy to remember. You can do
That
math.
is.
I think we
21
have to
Have
talk
we?
about this.
Oh boy.
But-
I forgot.
So
like
yes,
them so
my cousin
old.
Vinny had been 8 years when I graduated high school. And I'd watched it probably more than 8 times by that point.
Oh,
if I had
right.
to guess.
Because you had it on VHS.
Yeah, and it-
bootleg.
Well, I think it's legal to record the airwaves that come into your house or other waves. It's not a bootleg. How dare you?
As long as you don't show it to other people
it
or
to court.
charge admission.
Yeah, as long as you didn't say like, "Hey, everybody, come over to my house after prom. It's $5 to get in. We're gonna watch My Cousin Vinny."
Ralph Macchio's in this movie as the
He
accused.
sure is.
He's got a little
Yes.
Don't forget his
mustache.
mustache,
And
Bill.
I didn't,
which
I
is also
actually-
kind of in the movie.
I actually didn't quite piece together what level of college they were in. They were both at NYU and transferring to UCLA.
Yes.
Oh, I think. Oh, they were just transferring. I thought they were like going to. I guess I assumed postgraduate
Grad
Oh, maybe.
that they had gotten into grad school at UCLA.
But hey, speaking of going to law school, we got a friend here, Vinny something.
Gambini, LaGuardia,
Gambini.
Vincent LaGuardia
Gambini.
Mr. New
He
York.
went to law school because there was a judge who was nice to him.
Yeah.
Really believed in him.
He had a mentor.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
nice.
have to say it was a tight script.
It was.
It was a tight.
It was a really
very
tight
good
script. I was really appreciating how everything wove together. I definitely
Explain.
didn't clock.
Elaborate on this.
I will. I definitely didn't clock. On my multiple viewings as a Ute, I didn't clock a number of things. One of them was that their early like flirt fight, where they're talking about the dripping faucet, was just setting up the like climactic courtroom scene where she really brings home the car fact.
Yeah.
Carfax.com. That's a site, right?
Yep.
Brought to you by-
We wish.
We do wish.
But yeah, like that, and it doesn't play like what's this scene doing? It's like it both establishes the second beat payoff of that climactic courtroom scene, and also like gives a window into their relationship of like they love each other and fight all the time, and like that's kind of their bag, and it's like sexy fighting.
It also like reinforces that it reinforces what Billy was trying to say to his friend about how Vinny's just being Vinny when he's like, because like Bill's story on its own about how he was like telling Alakazam the magician that telling him how all his tricks were done, like without any other additional evidence that just sort of like, oh, Vinny was just a dick to this guy at a wedding. But with the sync argument, you can see like, oh, he is actually really like he's good at like inquiring into these things and like actually needling people's positions in a debate. And
Did you see they had a magic consultant in the credits?
what?
No, didn't see that.
I didn't. So
Yep.
he does a card trick. Presumably, this is why the magic consultant
Yes.
is there. And after it happened, I was like, was that a whole shot? Did he really do that card trick? And I texted that to everybody, and no one responded, so I still don't know.
I think because none of us knew.
Yeah.
I was looking at my phone. I didn't see it.
Wait.
Yeah, it feels like it is by the end. Like it feels like he really did it, but I don't know if it's trick photography.
Right. Ooh, I don't know.
I mean, he didn't actually change that card into another card. That's not what happened.
They
But
might have all been 6 of spades.
What are you talking about?
yeah. No, I was just
Actually,
I'm
don't
wondering
know
I
if
what
was
he's
the
a
just
trick
wizard.
was.
Is Joe Pesci a wizard?
No, Joe Pesci did not actually turn that card into another card.
Okay,
But
because it wasn't Ace of Spades, and then it was a Joker, and those are different cards.
it was 2 different cards, so it was an illusion.
But it stayed in his hand, so it seems like it got transformed.
Yeah, but it didn't actually change. Like when magicians do tricks, like they're
Gandalf.
Yeah, well, Gandalf is a wizard.
Yeah, like Joe Pesci.
Okay. Whew, we got to start from the top. So, no, I don't know. I wasn't paying close enough attention to notice if that was one shot or not. But
Yeah.
I think.
I guess tweet at us.
I mean, if they had a consultant, it would make sense if they were like, "How do you do this little card trick?"
Because I feel like there's no other moment in the movie,
that would be
right?
super complicated to do, right?
Maybe Joe Pesci is an amateur magician, and that wasn't even in the script. And they were like, "We gotta
pulled out
have
a
you
deck
for
of
My Cousin Vinny." And he's like, "Listen, I'll only do it. Like Steve McQueen got his motorcycle. I want my magic trick." And they were like, "You got it. We're gonna make it work."
So, so it's not that Joe Pesci already knew how to do it. He just insisted that his character do a magic trick.
Oh,
That's
no,
why
I
they
was
needed the
saying
magic
that-
consultant.
No, he is the magic consultant.
Wait,
Joe Pesci's his own magic consultant? He's getting paid twice? What a hustler.
ooh, that's smart. So just to be clear, Totes Recall canon is that James Brandon is a fictional magician character that Joe Pesci uses to get paid twice
Yeah.
Yes.
on My Cousin Vinny, and then I guess went on to apparently act in an episode of Jag and a couple of other things.
Wow.
All right, not bad.
Yeah. I was very amused that Vinny just has a deck of cards in his coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Which is like, that's funny, but also like, yeah, he would. He's probably going to
Yeah.
hustle someone
Right?
or do a magic
Yeah.
trick. That makes sense.
Yeah.
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 That couple was a couple of many talents. They knew
Oh,
many
yeah.
things of many different corners of working folk culture.
Yep.
Pool, cards, laying out a dude in one shot, which didn't even look like a punch. It looked like he kind of jumped at him like a wild animal.
It looked like when Yoda fights.
Right?
Yeah, that was another aspect that I was appreciating as a 35-year-old who has done some comedy.
Yeah.
Like this movie has just like really clean, just like here's a legal story, and now we're just gonna throw some comedy beats on top of it. Like pool hall guy, we see him 3 times.
my God.
It escalates. He punches him in the face. That's fun.
Yeah.
Waking
Yeah.
up in the middle of the night, we're just gonna see that a couple times over and over, escalate a little bit. It's just like these just clean gags that they throw on
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
of a good legal thriller comedy. it's
Oh, the costumes, like the quest
Yeah.
to get a suit for
the clothes, and then
courtroom.
Yeah, it ends in like a secondhand circus outfit, which like he looks like a ringmaster, right? He's in
Yes,
like this
yes.
maroon
Yeah.
ringmaster
Absolutely.
thing, which I think was probably intentional to also be like, oh, now he's really turning on the performer and he's like holding this show and doing tricks and stuff. I think there's a layer to that. It's not just like this is a dumbass suit he found. I think it was intentional for like how much of the ringmaster of the courtroom he becomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite bit that they did was when he was in the pool hall and there was like the guy with the neck brace on.
Oh
Who,
yeah.
by the way, is called neck brace in the, in the credits. But he immediately asks him like, "What happened to you?" 'Cause
Like
he wants to know-
mid-sentence, yeah.
he wants to know if it was a something that he could sue someone for.
Yeah, that was very funny.
So good.
It's like, oh, did you fall in your own home or somebody else's
Yeah.
home?
Yeah, and then they come back to it just like I don't know. The beats are really good, and the patience to come back to them is really good.
I really enjoyed I enjoyed I enjoyed the joke itself, but I also enjoyed the effort that was required to write these multiple distinct ways that they could get woken up too early at different hotels.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated that there were like these very distinct reasons why they could not get a proper night's sleep whenever they switched hotels.
Yeah, the thunder, like the sky opening up and water falling on them when they're trying to sleep in the car was so beautiful. Oh,
I don't see no
also,
stars.
Yeah. Also that there's a moment before that because they're finally, they're trying to sleep in a hunting lodge, and there's an owl that's shrieking, and you get to see the cameras from the perspective of the owl.
Ugh.
And you see Joe Pesci come out in like a shirt and some high tops with a gun, and he just shoots like straight out.
No, yeah.
No. And the owl's head turns like 180 degrees. It's just really well done.
That
And I
owl
assume
crushed.
that owl had two handlers, so I think it was a pretty special owl.
Two handlers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good owl.
And then the payoff for the like final beat of the sleep bit is great too, where he sleeps in prison and finally gets a good night's sleep because fucking New York is used to just people screaming.
Prison riot. It's just like the old city that never sleeps.
I feel like we should acknowledge that we got it wrong. There was no New Jersey in here. It was 100% Brooklyn.
100%
There were
New
explicit New York license plates on
Yes.
both cars of the Gambini.
Yeah.
Gambini men.
The Gambinis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here's a thing though, right?
Okay.
If your son were on trial for murder
Yeah.
and could be sentenced to the death penalty, do you
Yeah.
think you might show up in the courtroom, or you just be like, Vinny's got it?
Well,
Didn't
said
he say
her
something about her
was-
health?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some throwaway line
Oh.
about like, oh, with her health, how can I?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Hold on. That reminds me. There was one moment where Vinny just did that, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Like, he literally just went like, oh.
He says "oh" to Marisa Tomei. His character
But
name. I
what were they
forget.
talking about?
After he
Lisa.
dumped his dry clean suit in the mud, he goes, "Oh, what was in that suit?
Yeah.
What was in that bag?" Yeah, and then Macchio delivers a beautiful "whoa" after once he finally realizes like he's being booked for murder, which that goes a little long.
Yeah.
But it's like, "Whoa, wow!"
Yeah.
No, he's not walking.
No.
Wow,
He's getting
I'm
there,
booked
though.
for murder.
Wow.
Oh, wow. There's been a misunderstanding.
This can of tuna.
Wow, I just put it in my pocket.
Oh, wow.
and
I should have just gone back and purchased the can. I guess he couldn't because if he went back, it would
Yeah,
Well,
it'd been
they'd be a dead guy
bad.
there.
It would have been bad.
They'd be like, oh, returning to the scene of the crime, eh? Look into my mustache and tell me that you didn't kill this man. Sheriff had an incredible mustache.
There were
Sheriff had an
so many
incredible
good
mustache.
mustaches.
Bailiff
Except
had-
on Ralph Macchio.
The bailiff had the best mustache.
Oh, my God. Bailiff was amazing. Just
He was loving it.
beautiful. He was having a great
chuckling.
time. He had a great mustache. I assume he got hired for the mustache.
Probably.
The actor.
Yeah.
Maybe. It was top notch.
Yeah, a lot of good townspeople. I still loved Grit Cook guy.
Yeah.
Though I liked Mud Guy more.
Ooh, yeah.
Who was just like laughing about their mud. He's unfazed by them being like thinking he's an idiot. He's like so confident in Alabama mud. Yeah, mud you
Yep.
die.
But he's right.
And then
He's proven
look,
correct.
yeah, exactly. Look
And
what
then the
happens.
mud comes back. And the mud and
Yep.
the grit all comes back. It's a Cracker Jack script.
Cracker Jack script.
Very good.
I loved Mud Guy because he, like, that felt just very authentic. Not even just to like a small town, but just bored dudes, right? Like some guy is crouched under his car and just some stranger walks up like, oh, what's going on? Like, let me insert myself into this situation. I have a passing knowledge of whatever's going on, maybe, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felt very authentic, which is also part of the reason I absolutely hate dealing with car problems in public settings for that exact reason.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had a Mustang, like a 64 Mustang, and he had to give it up. It was beautifully restored, and he loved driving it. But every time he pulled over at a gas station, people who were more knowledgeable about his car than him wanted to chat about it.
Oh, no.
And they just asked him all kinds of questions that he just really didn't know the answer to.
He's just I'm just trying to go to the grocery store.
I just thought it was a cool car. I don't know if it was 64 or 64 and a half or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
He just had to sell it.
No, that is maybe the best reason I've ever heard to sell a car.
It's like
That is
too many
incredible.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I didn't certainly maybe notice, but didn't appreciate, you kind of there was like a vulnerable scene for Joe Pesci, more than one really, but like you wouldn't have think of like Joe Pesci comedy. Like he straight up is like, I'm scared I'm going to lose this case. And I don't know. I just really appreciate how good that scene was of them supporting each other. And then at the end, she's like, if you don't fuck it up, it's got even a good button on it.
Yep.
Yep. Can we talk about the age difference, though?
Sure.
Yeah, Joe Pesci looks real old.
Boy,
He's
he
like
does.
20 years older than her.
Well, you'd be surprised. So he...
No, he's literally 20 years older than her.
I know. I did a bunch of math, and what I'm about to tell
just
you
one
is
math
going to
to do?
blow your mind.
This is going to be as mind-blowing as when the movie My Cousin Vinny came out.
That was only mind-blowing for me.
Okay.
No, but so he's pretty clearly wearing a wig, right? It had to be a wig. Was that his hair?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. At least like a piece, I would think.
Yeah, it just seemed... Anyway, so I think it's meant to make him look more like he's in his early 40s or late 30s, early 40s. But he was about 50. And Marisa Tomei was like 28, which is, only 22 years, which is different
Yeah,
than
that's a
20.
bummer.
But it is like, it's a bummer. It just is. Because they look different ages.
Yes.
And you're like, why has she tied her wagon to this mule?
Maybe she loves that mule.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe that mule has just been with her through thick and thin, working at their dad's garage.
But if they've been together for 10 years
Yeah.
and she's like 28, that means she started dating him when she was 20.
Yeah.
And she's been with
18.
him. Well, 18. I don't know. I'm trying to round up to give them some help.
Sure.
But let's say it's like 18 or 20 until she's like 28 or 30. That's like all her dating years.
Yep.
And she's been hanging out waiting for this guy. And then it's supposed to be a punchline that her biological clock is ticking. Well, that says more about society than it does her. That should not have been a punchline on her. Anyway, I'm just saying it was uncomfortable.
Was it a punchline on her?
I don't know. I remember, and actually, it was so funny to watch that scene again because I remembered it being like such a highlight, like such a DVD moment, and people talked about it and laughed about
It is
it,
a
and
DVD
it was
moment.
like this big delivery, and it's a very good delivery. But I remember it going on and on and on, and it really doesn't. It's like she stamps her foot like 2 or 3 times. That's it.
It's not really even a monologue. It's just like, it's dialogue. It's definitely a dialogue. There's a monologue is when one person talks for a long period of time.
Okay,
And
okay.
and
I'm
nobody
listening.
responds
Two
back.
mile.
And a dialogue, like die, meaning two. Like that's when two people are talking to each
Di-monologue.
other.
Monologue.
Monologue.
The mono means one, and die is two. So there's a monologue and a
monologue.
dialogue.
1 + 1.
Solo talk.
2 solo talks.
Sure, yeah, but she was not solo talking. She was duo talking.
Okay. I'll have
he
to
was
watch
also
it
talking.
again. I'll have to
Yeah,
watch it again.
Okay, yeah, it was really complicated.
Yeah.
But
Thanks, Beth. But yeah, anyway, but at the time it was like this whole thing, like, isn't it hilarious how women have, like, the whole idea of like a biological clock was hilarious and a punchline. It's sort of in the same way that like sex therapists were just in and of themselves a punchline. It was like still of that time.
Yeah.
And rewatching it, I was like, well, yeah, like yeah, if he needs to like decide, because that's a lot of years and specific years where no other dating is going on.
Yeah. I agree that like the referencing of the biological clock is a real like 90s joke to make, but maybe this is what you're saying. But I think that
also, if she's 18 and he's 38,
I mean, those are the actors, right?
I think
They might be acting to be different ages.
I guess so. But like, were you buying Joe Pesci as someone in his 40s, like early 40s, or even late 30s?
Buying it? No.
Yeah, no,
Of course not.
no.
Yeah, no.
Like they could have cast somebody. Like I think Marisa
he's
Tomei
a
does.
wizard, though, right? So they are usually
Yeah,
older.
like he's actually
he-
actually probably like 400 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. She could be too.
She
She
could be
could
too.
have just been turned into
a
a
wizard
wizard earlier in
Yeah.
her.
right. 'cause
No,
he
Or
stopped
she's
aging.
been-
She's just more youthful.
Or she's been
taking
like
a youth
stealing
serum.
blood from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you stop
Yeah.
aging when
Yeah,
you become
no.
a wizard.
Is that true?
Yeah, at the age
Well,
you
then
were
why
bitten.
did Dumbledore take so long?
Bitten by a wizard?
He wasn't bitten by a wizard until he was much older.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't he a
okay,
wizard
got
in
it.
the Grumble Ball movies?
No, he was bitten by Grumbleball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grubble Ball's the biter.
Yeah.
Grumble Ball.
But
Anyway, it
what I was
is
saying about
weird that
duo
Marisa Tomei
monologue-
is like 20 years younger than him.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like that one movie that Audrey Hepburn was in with what's his name, where it's just like, come on,
Roman Holiday.
that's insane.
my favorite.
Which one? Because I just watched Charade, and it's Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant, and they're also like a 20-year difference. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the one with Fred Astaire.
Oh,
My Fair Lady?
What? No.
no, he's
Isn't
not
that-
in My Fair Lady.
I don't know.
Henry Higgins.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Don't you
Henry
wait.
Higgins, obviously.
Yep.
Anyway, women are often cast as.
I know.
a
I get
very-
it.
No, it's gross, for sure.
I'm not telling you. I'm just reminding society and the listeners. Hey, teens.
Teens, if you are a dude,
Yeah.
only hook
Don't
up
date a
with
baby.
older ladies. Right? And if you're interested in ladies. I don't want to... If you're a dude, interested in dudes, hook up with only your exact age.
Is that how that works? Okay.
I think so.
We are taking some very firm
Listen.
stances on this podcast.
I mean, I feel like maybe, I don't know, wait until both of you are at a maturity level where you can make a decision on whether or not you want to be together.
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me.
Like 18 is pretty young. I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking about them beginning, but I guess it didn't bother me, their age difference in the movie.
Right.
I guess it really didn't bother me most of the time because they're really presented as equals and they clearly have chemistry and it's really delightful most of it. But there's a moment when she's going to be a hostile witness that he like
Picks her up.
gets in her face, hangs up the phone against her will. At one point, picks her up and carries her into the courtroom with her saying no all the way. It was just, I would describe it as uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I think it's also intentional, right? We talk about this all the time. We say the same thing over and over. Right?
Oh, yeah,
It's like
that's
uncomfortable,
true.
but that's the characters, which doesn't make it good or bad. Or maybe it does.
We
Yeah,
should,
that sounds like the
should have figured
conversation
this
we have
out
every
by
time.
now.
We need a thesis
No,
statement.
there's no good answer.
Yeah.
Beth, can you just find the clip where we figured this out and insert it into this podcast?
Yeah.
You want me to go into the future and find a clip where we figured it out
Burn
and
on
put
us.
it back in there?
Yeah.
Burn on us.
What I was going to say about the dual monologue in the forest
Oh, yeah.
was that I think that's also like, yes, biological clock is like a kind of a cheap joke for this era, but then I also think it's a really good scene of them yelling at each other and like really exposing like, here's everything that's going on with us. And like, they're both, I mean, Vinny is worse. of the two,
Sure.
but they like both like they butt heads. I don't know. I really appreciate the continuing to see like this is how they like yell at each other and work it out. And they're not perfect. Relationships are messy, teens.
Teens.
But they get
It's
there.
fine.
They talk about too, or Ralph Macchio's character mentions like that everyone in that family is good at arguing.
Yeah.
And so I do like that that's part of their relationship, because I think that is true of a lot of families, is that they like argue a lot. And so the fact that they found each other and that they're a equal match in that arena
Yeah.
makes for good chemistry in the movie.
Yeah, there's definitely dynamics sometimes where like there are definitely dynamics in families sometimes where like when people are bringing in significant others, there is sort of this like it does feel like sometimes there's like almost this like test of like can they hold their own within this
Yeah.
culture? Like can they hang?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And she
Can
could
they
hang in
hang?
that family.
Oh boy,
Can they hang?
she could hang.
She
Can
is
they
great.
hang?
Like she has, I just love the way that she deals with the things that he says.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of the exact thing that she says, but the sarcasm that she gives him
She's
is
so good
amazing.
at deflating him. Yeah.
Yes.
Like at every turn. She's so good at just like immediately deflating. Like anytime he shows any kind of just like, come on, you're busting my balls. She just like immediately just like cuts him down and like brings them back to equal footing.
Even at the end when he's like, I should have won the case all by myself. And she's like, oh, so you'd have to tell someone thank you. It sounds so awful.
Yeah, what a fucking nightmare for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's so
I
great.
will also say when she gets sarcastic, she comes across as really charming and hilarious. But there's a scene where he gets really sarcastic with her right before she is like mad enough that he ends up dragging her into the courthouse. I was like, oh, this is a real ugly, hard to watch version of that dynamic playing out. But it
imagine
was a
they've had that.
familiar.
I imagine that's
Yeah.
happened to them like multiple times over the years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
too far.
No, I get it. But I don't know. Anyway, and I also don't want to sound judgmental about there being a 20-year difference in a relationship. I guess I'm just pointing out in this case that you just have a much older actor, and you could have hired an actress who was closer in age, and it wouldn't have felt, I don't know, it would have felt like they were even more on equal footing. But I understand in real life, sometimes people do meet at 18 and 38 or whatever, and they are really happy together. So I don't.
Maybe more about the Hollywood pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like that hair, I think is really meant to make him look younger,
Oh, for sure it is. Yeah.
or like somebody who's trying to look younger. But like, think about the reality of that. You're 18 and you're working in your dad's garage, and there's a 38-year-old that you're dating who works there.
Yeah. Yeah, the 1838 is different than,
I mean,
it seems different to me than 28 and 38.
48.
48.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I would imagine that we are not meant to believe that Vinny is Joe Pesci's age, though, in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll let it go. I just didn't want to sound judgmental about it because I get lots of relationships work. And I don't know anyone else's relationship. I'm just saying I'm judging the one on screen. So
We know
there.
this one, and it's bad.
I mean, it's good and bad, but it's frustrating. But hey, those outfits, A+.
I was just going
my
to say, you know how he's a younger man is that leather jacket
Ooh,
that I
Yeah.
definitely knew was going to be
Comedy
there.
ties.
a couple different jackets, right?
Ties are really good.
Oh, those ties. I enjoyed on our text chat that Jaquette kept us updated on every single version of tie.
Yes, I also appreciated that. Because
Black
sometimes I
tie.
wasn't paying attention to the tie.
No,
Sunglasses
I almost missed
tie.
sunglasses tie.
I
So-
definitely miss sunglasses tie, and I'm furious about it.
Pen tie. Yeah, they're just like these thick 90s ties with a bold pattern on them.
So
And they're
good.
very short.
Yeah.
Like they almost seem like they're for children.
And I would hazard to guess that no one has had as much fun doing costumes for a show or a production until Schitt's Creek, because the over-the-topness and the designerness of her clothes, especially Marisa Tomei's clothes, were so great.
Yeah, I felt like that one jacket she was wearing that was like black and white and had the little kind of spirals on the collar. I was like, oh, Moira Rose would wear that.
Yeah, huge shoulder pads too.
Yeah. Her outfits were a delight because every time they would cut to a new scene with her in a new outfit, it always had sort of like just this implied joke of just like, that's what you packed to this road trip to Alabama? Like that's as Dan predicted, the floral jumpsuit was just phenomenal fashion at a hunting lodge.
Casual wear.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's the kind of thing you just wear out in the woods, just, commune with nature.
Yep.
Yeah, Tomei crushes every second of this film that she's in.
She really does.
She even like carries herself in a certain way, like just the way she walks is like very specific choice.
The way she takes the oath on the stand, her body language at every moment is incredible.
Yeah. Or like how she like refuses to make eye contact, like very deliberately refuses to make eye contact with him at first while she's on the stand. So good.
Yeah. She's great.
Oh, she's the best. She deserved that statue? Question mark?
She did.
Yes.
Molly?
But what was the issue? Wasn't there an issue?
There was. I did a little research during the movie on there's a site you may have heard of. It's called Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.org is the website that Molly went to. She wasn't that bored as far as I could tell, but maybe she was mad at Joe Pesci's hair, so she looked at her phone to feel a little better and learned some facts at
Wikipedia.org.
Yes. Before I go on, I just want to say, you know what? It occurs to me, Marisa Tomei's character is an out-of-work hairdresser, so maybe she does Joe Pesci's hair. That makes more sense.
She does. I bet she does.
So, of course, she would go for all that. Okay, great. I don't remember why I threw to this. Oh, Marisa Tomei. Yes.
That statue.
So, she won the Oscar, and it was unusual for supporting actor or actress. And she was up against some real heavy hitters. And I don't know if you remember the movie Enchanted April, which was a very serious, artsy movie. Yeah. There were just a bunch of heavyweight films and actresses up for. And she was sort of a surprising nominee because of the size of her role and also that My Cousin Vinny was kind of seen as a throwaway comedy. A box office hit. With only got 2.5 of Roger Ebert's 4 stars. So that tells you something.
What he's talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I had a previews for these Machio Grit boxes going on.
Yeah. Anyway, she wins the award.
Yes.
And instead of getting the big boost that you typically get from winning an Oscar, there's all of these, I would say, fairly vicious rumors that come out about Jack Palance, who was the person presenting the award, that he was stoned or drunk or was reading the teleprompter or whatever. And actually, you know what? It wasn't Wikipedia. I looked this up on Snopes.
What?
Yeah, I decided
We don't have a song for that?
No, that's okay. I just figured it was Wikipedia adjacent. It was under the Wikipedia banner. I left that tab open the entire time.
Okay, at least the tab was open.
Yeah.
The warming glow of Wikipedia was still
But yeah, anyway, Snopes, if you're really interested, goes through and pretty carefully debunks the theory. But it's sad because, instead of getting a big benefit from that, it actually set her back.
So wait, people decided that rather than the possibility that she won, it was that Jack Palance was too mentally compromised to read the actual winner?
Yeah, and it turns out a little peek behind the curtain at the Oscars, twofold. One is that on the teleprompter, what it says when it comes time to open the envelope is it says the words envelope and announce winner. So that nobody's reading the teleprompter instead of looking at the card.
That's smart.
And then, of course, the Price Waterhouse people are in the wings to make any corrections. Oh, also because you wouldn't want the teleprompter person to know because then it would get out who won.
Yeah.
But they're waiting in the wings a la 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 Land, L.A., La La's.
Yes,
Yep.
that
Versus,
movie. Yep, famous movie, La La
Moonlight.
Land, L.A. La La's.
I've heard of it.
So, that they will step out and make a correction if needed. So, yeah, she legit won. But, it's interesting, like almost nobody got a bump from this movie, even though it got some critical acclaim. It won at least one Oscar. But, for Marisa Tomei, she was sort of seen as a joke or like this person who didn't honestly win, even though she crushed and was great. And
garbage.
who remembers Enchanted April? Is that on TBS all the time?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I've never even heard of it.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
a big deal. It was like one of
Stupid
those
art
real
movie.
British
Trash.
things.
It's a
Ugh.
trash movie.
But like Ralph
trash
Macchio, it wasn't like that was propelling him forward. The guy who plays Stan, Mitchell something, he went on to do a lot of voice work, and he played Rachel on Friends. He played Rachel's fiance Barry for like 6 episodes.
Yes. Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
he looks so familiar, and it's not from the other time that I saw this movie. But that's what it's from. Yep.
Yeah, so that's like, in a few episodes here and there, but mostly he's done voice acting.
Okay.
Neat.
So yeah, those are like the three people you would kind of think are sort of up and coming and it would propel them, and it really didn't. I mean, Joe Pesci was doing great and continued to do well.
Right. He was fine.
Oh, but a sad note. Why can't I think of his name? He played the judge. He was so great.
Oh, he was so good. The guy played the judge.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know
played.
the actor's name.
Yeah, he played the Munster. Which Munster?
Weedle.
Herman Munster,
Herman Munster.
the dad.
The dad, and had done like a lot of roles. Anyway, this was his last role.
Oh.
He passed away at the age of like 64 after this. So I think I remember that story coming out, but I'd forgotten until I was reading wikipedia.org.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That dude.
Yeah, the judge crushed.
Oh,
I think
my God.
So
I
great.
bet he would have incredible. His eyebrow game would be on fleek. I think
Oh, boy.
again,
Brother,
100%
it
Utah on
was fleeking.
Yeah.
this. That was a fleeking brow.
He,
As the
oh
Utes
my
say,
God.
As the Utes say.
As the Utes, also, yeah, that dude was so good at just like glowering at, like, I just imagine them, like, I think we talked about this in the first half. I like it was probably like a pretty easy gig of just like, yeah, just sit in the chair and we'll, here, you just do all your lines. I love the idea of them just like keeping the camera on him for like an hour and just being like, it's like, all right, Fred, he just said, whatever. Like Joe Pesci just said this. How do you react to that? It's just him like doing like different frowns and just like snarls. Oh my God. It was like half of his role in this movie was just like incredible facial reactions.
Well, and his little hand gestures
Yes.
were so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he had this way of like calling forward that it just used like his index finger and his middle
Yeah, he's
finger.
got really big hands too.
That's why
Yeah.
he played a Frankenstein man.
It was very imposing.
Yeah.
But and then the comedic dynamic between him, Joe Pesci, and Marisa
forget about
Tomei during that last courtroom scene. I mean, that's where the whole movie really just it flies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of the random character actor dudes in that courtroom did a great job. The prosecutor, who was definitely a recognizable character actor, but I don't know why. He had this like ridiculous quirk where like anytime he really wanted to like emphasize something, he'd like say it again, but do this thing with his hands, like he was doing like the end of a magic trick.
He really looked like a magician, like
Oh,
just
it's
like
so
hand
funny.
kind of
Is
stuff.
burned
Yeah.
into
Oh,
my
it was
brain. It's
so
just
good.
like identical.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so perfect.
It was great.
Just absurd.
Yeah, the old lady with the big glasses is so
Oh,
cute.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the character actors they got for the various courtroom scenes were just chef's kiss, wonderful. There's one juror who looked like if Ted Cruz had like drank from the wrong goblet in the last Indiana Jones movie and just like got like crazy magically old.
I didn't notice him. I was too busy looking at the guy with the huge white beard.
That's
who had,
the same guy. We're talking about the same
It's got
guy.
a David Letterman beard.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. Another thing I didn't notice as a Ute was the commentary cut to the juror when prosecutor is like talking about his opening arguments. He's like, verdict, it comes from truth, from the old English where all our little ancestors come from. And they cut to a black lady in the stands just like staring straight ahead like, oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
and I think it was very intentional. I was like,
Very.
good
Yeah.
job. Just like a little, I don't know, I feel like you got to do something in a legal movie about the South, like acknowledge something, maybe. I don't know. I
Right.
appreciated it. It was a very subtle nod to like, oh yeah, guys, racism still ever present in our country.
Right. And just like that guy just being like, my perspective is the universal version of reality.
Yeah.
I just casually say this shit without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on the whole, with the extras and everything, like there was very little representation among any of the main cast members, but it was kind of nice to see that in like the extras in the scenes and some of the smaller parts, it actually reflected a little bit more what the South looks like.
Like the actual demographics.
Yeah.
of
The actual
South. Yeah.
demographics. I mean, obviously, I'd prefer for those main roles to, have people of color in them too. But yeah, that was actually kind of refreshing
I agree.
in a very light way, like a very, very.
I mean, we've established long ago on the show that the bars are very low
Yeah,
for most things.
it's true. Oh, hey, guess where this was filmed?
Where?
Alabama.
Monticello, Georgia.
Oh.
Wait,
So
you
outs-
you did your grandma? Someone's from there.
Nope.
Aunt.
Nope.
Isn't that in France?
No. Well,
What's in France?
Georgia has
Monticello.
a lot of cities and towns that are named for more famous cities and towns.
Right.
There's Cairo, which is spelled like Cairo,
Yeah.
which is spelled like Cairo.
Nice.
Athens, of course, which is where I went to school. No
Greece.
big deal. State
Yeah.
school.
Greece. You went to school in Greece before
Yeah.
you went to the Soviet Union. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so on.
And so forth.
Yeah, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Do your own investigation.
Hey, teens, get a friggin' road atlas and look
Hey,
up some
teens?
town names.
Teens, keep this on, but shut off all your other devices
Yeah.
or whatever you're doing. Your TikToks and your Angry Birds.
Yes, teens are definitely still playing Angry
Did you
Birds.
your Angry Birds? Did you your
Yeah.
ports?
Yeah.
USB, your micro, your lightning.
Yeah, your
USB-C?
vapes, your vape pens. Put down your vape pen, open up a goddamn atlas,
Yeah.
and look up all the fun towns in Georgia that are named after more famous places.
Yep. Do that.
Yeah.
But it was funny because when we were watching it, my husband said, "Oh, is that Alabama?" And I was like, "Well, it looks a lot like Georgia, but I guess it could be Alabama." And you know what? It was Georgia.
Well.
So no big
Well.
deal.
So step
Well,
off, husband.
Yes. Husband. What do you think you are?
Yeah.
Maybe you should get an Atlas husband.
Yeah. Hey, put down your wacky weed and your fidget spinners, and I assume, and pick up a road atlas.
Yeah, husbands.
Yeah, husband.
Throw out all your grill pox.
Yeah. Hey, take your little magic gaming rigs and toss them in the
Yeah.
trash. Give your baby child whatever your baby child needs, and
Yeah,
then
tend to your baby child.
tend to your
Then
First of all, yeah,
throw out your VR,
yeah,
gadget.
your Oculus,
your Oculus
Rift, musky boy box.
What is happening?
Feed your child.
I was playing along with this, and then I completely lost what was going on.
I think what
Delete
happened
your Robin
is
Hood
that
stones and pick up a road atlas.
I think what happened is that Dan and I had the equivalent of locking eyes on a remote call. We had the equivalent of digital equivalent of locking eyes and just pushing each other to keep going until we were forced to stop. Beth, leave all this in.
Shout out to husbands.
Hey, shout out. You know what? Shout out to husbands everywhere, except for the shitty ones.
Yeah, you guys go to jail.
Hey, shitty husbands, get up off from your chair, walk over to the nearest jail, and say,
tuna.
I'm a shitty husband.
Okay, I might have to rethink that
Put some
statement.
tuna
I
in
feel
your
a little too
pocket.
broad. Put some tuna in your pocket.
Go to jail.
Okay,
Say,
you know what? Let me
bada boom.
amend my
Whoa.
statement because I feel like that covers too much ground. Shitty husbands, get up out of your chair, walk to the nearest therapist, and say, "Hello, please, I would like to pay you money for services,"
Yeah.
and then just try it out.
Yeah.
You don't have to stick around. You can shop around,
No. Hey,
but just
husbands,
hey,
it's okay to change therapists.
exactly.
It doesn't
It's a
mean
pain in
they
the
did
ass,
a bad job or
but
you did a bad job. Yeah, it's you got to ramp all up again and talk about your trauma, childhood of origin.
Just write it down and then just hand over a sheet of paper.
Ooh, there you go.
It's basically the same. It's
Yeah.
really not.
Start a podcast. Just have your therapist listen to the podcast.
Should I be telling my therapist to listen to this podcast?
Like,
Can you
give them some insight.
It really lays out a lot. I do. Yeah, it really does lay out a lot.
It's just 100 short, almost 2-hour episodes about.
I speak about a fourth of the
Cousin Vinny.
time.
Yeah. I mean, I probably speak more than that because I'm an asshole. But
Anyway, My Cousin Vinny is the movie
yes,
we've been discussing.
that we're
the whole
talking
time.
about the whole time
Yes, this
exclusively.
whole time.
One fun fact that I learned from my wife, No Big Deal, who
Oh, wow.
has a JD, also No Big Deal.
What's a JD?
It is the degree you get upon graduating from law school.
Oh, what does the J stand for?
Juris.
Juris,
Yeah. It's
not
Latin.
jurist.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Is that
like-
like jurisprudence?
Yes.
It's not justice. It's not like a justice degree. I have a degree in justice.
It should be justice degree. That's way easier to say.
And
Law
cooler
schools?
sounding. Hey, law schools.
All right, we can't do this. She watched clips from this movie in her evidence class because it does evidence very well, apparently. Like,
Really?
of all movies,
Oh.
it really does legal procedure and evidence well.
That's in Wikipedia too.
Yeah.
How so? Like, what is it about this compared to
wow.
other things?
Well, just like so many movies, just like, oh, what would be fun? I don't know anything about the courtroom, but like, because the way he's screwing up, he has to do
Yeah.
it's like the way he's screwing up is accurate. And so, in that sense, it's showing you like, this is what you actually have to do.
Right.
And like, when he goes up and gives his speech when he finally learns the law, like the last day of like the surprise witness, we haven't been given time, blah, 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 blah. I think all that stuff's accurate. Yeah. I just think it's really funny. They watched My Cousin Vinny in law school.
That is funny.
I think our
Even now.
teacher, professor for that class was the dude from Making a Murderer. So that's fun.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
The lawyer in the Making the Murderer TV show.
Oh,
never
He's a
saw
real
it.
lawyer teacher.
Okay.
He's my wife's lawyer teacher. So
Okay, cool.
Netflix,
Wow.
come
Back
give
off.
me money.
Whoa, is that how that works?
I think so.
Yeah, I did wonder about that because that is true. Like, there's definitely like years of television and movies have definitely skewed my and all of society's understanding of how courts work and like how trial, especially like how just like trials proceed.
Yep.
Because I think we've all been like,
I
we've all,
object.
yeah, like we've all subconscious. Wait, are you actually objecting, or are you just making
No.
an example? Okay.
Just example. Supporting your
Yeah, because I think we all subconsciously have it in our heads that just like trials follow like the convenient beats of a screenplay,
Yeah.
right?
You have a compelling opening argument, and then you
Yeah.
do some gotchas,
Yeah.
and then you do.
Then there's a couple of just like really incredible witness cross
just
examinations.
confessions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, some Perry
and
Mason
then
stuff.
there's just like a real Hail Mary move at the end
Yep.
that just fucking kills. When in reality, I'm sure it's. I mean, yeah, in reality, it's just sort of like here's a bunch of stuff that makes no sense to the layperson, but that's why it's taking so long. And then like a week later, it's like, okay, here's the part that you think actually is going to happen. This is starting to happen, but it's not happening as quickly as you think it's going to happen. It's actually going to take several days. And then it's like, oh, now they're waiting for this other appeals court to like say something before they can say another thing.
Yeah.
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 But it kind
I
of
wonder if the peak people understanding that stuff was during the O.J. Simpson trial.
You think they
You know?
understood it, or do you think it actually made it worse?
Oh, no, I think it definitely made it worse. But like thinking about like people being riveted for a very long period of time
Yeah.
and having access like that where they could just watch it on TV.
Right.
It's like fascinating to think about like how many people had like super elaborate theories and ideas about the proceedings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
That probably was bad, right? For like to
Yeah.
turn it into TV, and then people were just like, "Oh, I was right all along. It is like TV."
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Hey, our legal system's a nightmare.
Oh boy, it sure is.
Ooh, speaking of our legal system and My Cousin Vinny, I was worried the prison, or made a bet that the prison-based humor would not hold up.
Nope.
Actually, not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I agree. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was presented as entirely one-sided from Stan's perspective, and Stan is presented pretty clearly as a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. Stan is like bigoted towards the South
Everybody.
and everybody.
So I
Yeah.
appreciated that like, I mean, the jokes were still like, LOL, sexual assault.
Yeah.
But like, it was at least presented as just like, it was more just like Stan has just like has these very specific ideas of every situation he's in. He said, I mean, he also like when we were like, and the other thing we were talking about, like about worried that like the Southern stereotypes were going to be a problem. Like most of that is presented through Stan's lens too, which I appreciated. And he's just a buffoon all around. So like, it was definitely not, I was worried that it was going to be just like him and Ralph Macchio just being like, "Oh, geez," for like 2 minutes.
Oh, the soap, we're going to drop it.
Yeah,
Whoa!
like, oh, but no, it was just like Stan misunderstanding the situation. So it was like, yeah, it was not as bad as as I thought it was going to be.
And
then-
it was only also one part
Right.
where it could have like just kept coming
Like
up.
every time they were
'Cause they're
going
in
back to
for
jail,
the-
right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I think, I agree. A different movie might have had just like some big guy who growled at them every prison scene.
Right, exactly.
And then they had to like go give him a present and LOL.
Yeah.
But this had just like a very long,
Very long, yes.
Very
I mean, it
long
did go on for a
gag.
very long
It
time.
goes on for a long time. I feel like that could have used an edit.
ooh, I actually thought
It
it made
wasn't-
it made it to the other side of the like, we've been doing this so
Really?
long. It's too long. Oh, now it's funny again. For me anyway. But
Your mileage may vary.
your mileage may vary. I also support different aged relationships. So it's just like differences between people, I think.
Yeah, but also like the carceral system is terrible, and most like it definitely still has the same problem of just sort of like making light of like
Yeah.
these brutal conditions that are absolutely created by and perpetuated by the state, not necessarily the people that are living within those environments.
Yeah. But then we create a culture of joking about it to other those in prison
Yep.
further
Yep.
and make them feel like they deserve it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's also a nightmare.
That's also
Yeah.
a nightmare. My cousin
But
Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny did better navigating that than we expected, I guess is the conclusion.
Yeah.
I would argue they maybe, I don't know, maybe they did better than that. Stuttering,
Oof.
lawyer, that was
Not so
very
much.
hard to
Yeah.
That was in
watch.
the rough. I remembered, I think I even said to my wife, as soon as that guy got up, I was like, oh, this dude rules. Because I remember him, the joke is the public defender seems competent and nice and smart, and then he gets
Yeah.
up and he botches
Yeah.
his opening argument, which I remembered
Which
that,
is
but I just in
true.
my brain,
I mean,
was
that's
like,
accurate.
oh, he
Yeah.
gets sweaty and nervous
Mm-hmm.
and like and just flustered and fucks it
Yeah.
up, and he doesn't do that. He just has a really bad stutter and LOL ableism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was more like because once he finishes giving his argument, when he like gives his little wave at the end,
Oh my
like
God,
as he's
that
walking
wave was
by,
amazing.
and then he like sits back down and he's like, I just get a little bit nervous. Like
Right.
that to me was so funny.
That was
Yeah.
so
Like,
well, the beat
That
of it.
part
yeah.
was so good.
Agreed.
And I was like, oh, I wish he wasn't stuttering. I wish it was more like, he was super sweaty and was having a hard time like constructing sentences rather than
Yeah.
like had some sort of speech impediment that people actually have and struggle with, you
Right.
know?
Well, and even
yeah.
there was like they already even had like there was enough to that scene already with him just like trying to do this like gotcha with the guy with the glasses and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're reading glasses. So like all those beats were there already
Yeah.
and that like covered it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. No, it was unfortunate because it did just feel like they were just like added like just laying it on thick to just be like, ooh, Stan, you fool. Like, you idiot, you accepted the help of a man with a disability. Like, right? Like, it just was sort of like they just, somewhere along the line, they were just like, oh, but what if it was just like the worst possible situation for Stan? But then they're actually just like making like this guy, right? Like, they're just disparaging this fictional human being, but who is also like representative of real people.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a bummer, for sure.
Yeah.
And not necessary. Which is, I mean, like, you can say that about most things in comedy, sure. But
Yeah.
the fact that there was like other jokes there as well is what made it almost worse.
Yeah.
Like they'd already written the scene in a way that it still conveyed what they wanted to convey, even without
Yeah.
the stutter, you know?
And the actor was great.
He was great. I loved that dude. Like his demeanor was delightful.
Yeah, I would say actually everybody does a great job. I don't know. Ralph Macchio does an okay job.
Yeah.
He does okay.
Were you just distracted by his weird mustache?
Oh, that mustache was difficult.
It's not good.
Yeah, I want to pivot lightly here. We do get Discord questions
Yes,
on
thank you.
the night of the record. If you're a patron, you can go to Discord and ask a question. And we got some, but the most important one is from Francis asking Molly specifically if Hot Mach is still doing it for you.
Oh,
he is
boy.
in college. He is a hot college dude.
Full
the year
adult
you graduated from
macho.
high school. You two are like a perfect match.
New York, L.A.,
New York,
driving.
L.A.,
Has at
Athens,
least one
Georgia.
friend. Loves his mother.
Loves his mother.
Ma.
He reads a book,
Ma.
a big book about colleges, just like you did.
Oh,
Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. I just like, it was the mustache mostly, but also Ralph Macchio as a Karate Kid being kind of like skinny and vulnerable and cute just works better also when you're younger.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You wish
I don't
he
know.
was
And I watched
20
all
years
of
younger.
Cobra Kai, and I have to say, the guy who plays Johnny,
Yeah.
he starts out real awkward as an actor in like the first couple episodes, but then by like the second season, you're like, holy cow,
He's
Agreed.
good.
he's
He's a great actor.
great actor.
Yeah.
He's like
And
shockingly funny.
Yes.
yes. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is we all change over time.
Yeah, Hot Mach.
That's my hot take. We all
Hot
change
takes on Hot
over
Mach.
time.
Yeah. He was
But I
better
feel like
than
I let
I
Francis down,
thought he
but
was
yeah,
going
I
to be,
just-
and he wasn't that good. I don't know. It's too bad.
Yeah.
He's not like I remembered him playing a bigger part. I mean, he is like he is the person saying the title out loud.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's not
Thank
the
you.
titular character, but he's the person saying the title.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he's just kind of, he's there. He gives a hug at the end that's on camera.
Yeah, he does.
His face is facing the camera during the hug and nails that.
Yep. Puts that tuna in his pocket.
I believed he stole that tuna. So
Whoa.
Whoa.
So, Mach not hot
Much not hot.
is what I'm hearing.
not so hot.
Not so hot.
But maybe Johnny Lawrence.
Oh, is Mach in the Cobra Kai too?
Oh
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Much is in the Cobra Kai.
How's
playing
he aged up? Is he looking okay?
Daniel LaRusso.
He looks fine.
Okay.
He's just not.
Just not doing it for you.
Oh no, no.
No, he's a weaker part of that show.
Yeah,
I'd see.
he's
But
iconic.
the show's great.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it.
All
Very
right.
fun. Super.
Check it
silly.
out on whatever.com.
Netflix, where you can see other shows. That's their tagline, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Netflix,
Yep.
you can see other shows.
Yep.
Yes, so thank you, Francis, for that question. And I'm sorry, maybe, if you were hoping Molly was still hot for much.
I mean, I think we all were,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The dream is
It just
dead.
would have made such a good story. Who's dead?
The dream.
The dream.
Oh, God.
Woo.
Made me
That
worried
was
there for a second.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dream is dead. All those Mach Chase shippers.
All that
Just-
fan fiction. I'm
Yep.
so sorry.
Yeah.
The
Tasteful
volley
fan
macho
fiction.
slash fiction that our fans are writing?
Tasteful fan fiction.
Tasteful, please. Only tasteful
Yes.
fanfic.
They just play volleyball on the beach or whatever he does with that girl in Karate Kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
They break
And then they
radios,
reconnect at their 30-year high school reunion.
where they're the
Yeah.
exact same age
Yes.
to the day.
To the day.
Wow.
And they both have incredible mustaches.
That's a story I'd read. Lose that in between a road atlas that falls out while I'm looking up town names in Georgia. Made my day.
Oh boy, that's
Wow.
one too many layers.
Oh, it is. It is too many layers.
Well,
Do you?
then before we get to our final reviews of the movie we just
We
watched,
should mention the Bechdel-Wallace test was
We
a giant
always
fail.
mention the Bechdel-Wallace test.
Yep.
Hard
It was a
fail.
very big fail.
Boom.
Maybe
Told
no second named woman. No, I guess some
There's
of
the
the
clerk.
witnesses and the
Yeah.
and the glasses.
Were they
lady.
named?
They have to be named, right? The witnesses?
Definitely
Oh.
the old glasses lady. She had a name, Mrs. Riley,
Okay.
maybe.
Oh, okay.
The stenographer was a woman.
Yep.
Not named though, right?
No.
Oh,
she's
No,
even
but
the
she
a
didn't
different-
sheriff's
really say anything.
office is a woman. She gets introduced kind of almost randomly, or maybe in the judge's office.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, I really perked up, like, oh, maybe she'll talk, and she didn't.
No.
No. I was thinking while we were watching this movie that I want to start noticing if you did it the other way around, where two like male characters talk to each other about something that's not a woman, how quickly in the movie it passes. Because in this movie, it's immediately. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like right away. And I just think it'd be interesting to. I'm sure it's always immediately. Most of
Well,
the time, right?
I mean, not. Yeah, but there's definitely going to be some wiggle room there if they start out just being like, "Oh, that lady, she."
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like,
did you see that broad?
I think it'd be interesting to look at it from that other direction.
Yeah.
But also, like, what types of movies? Because I feel like rom-coms probably are talking about women a lot, right? So, but I feel like maybe an action movie would be like, women don't exist. This is a world of men only.
Right. Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Well,
So,
this is a beta segment then. Segment in beta,
Yes.
the Mandel-Mandis test.
What? The Beth K. Gibbs test.
Okay.
It's
Do you want your
named
name
after
on
the
the
inventor.
test about men talking
The
Too
to
late.
Beth K. Wallace.
Too late. Beth K. Gibbs test. How long does it take for a movie to not talk about women between two men?
Men talking about. So
always
we get it.
5 minutes. Within 5 minutes.
Within
That's
five.
my
Yeah.
bet.
Oh, a
Okay.
pass is under 5 minutes.
I think a pass is over 5 minutes, right? Because we're saying that's shameful, right? Or no?
I don't know that it passes or it doesn't pass. It's just
It's not a
interesting
pass-fail
to note.
situation.
Oh,
Just
okay.
note
Okay.
it.
It's a scale.
Ooh.
It's an essay question.
It's
Yeah, it's
the
an essay
Beth
question.
note. Is it a sweet note or a sour note? We don't know.
I guess we
Or
don't
both.
know. Or both.
Before we get to the final review of the movie we just watched, My Cousin Vinny, we like to read a maximum rating review of our podcast, totesrecall.com, in the impression of a character from this movie, of which there is a depth and breadth. But we don't have a review, so we will skip that segment for this time. Leave a review. If you've already left a review on Apple Podcasts, hey, leave a second one somewhere else. Who cares?
Hey, how
But
about
tell us about
Audible? Audible doesn't know anything about us. But we're on there.
Leave one
Oh,
on
hey.
Audible.
Oh,
They have
good.
podcasts?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
now we're just giving it away for free. But yeah, that's their whole deal. Is they're going to be number one in like audio entertainment. They've got
They're
some,
owned by Amazon.
Yeah, they've got like some mission. But anyway, also, okay, here's the thing. They'll give people $10,000 to start and all the technical help they need to start a podcast that is about some personal life experience they've had.
We've got a podcast.
And they're hoping to mostly, what?
We have a podcast. Can we get
What do you-
$10,000?
We have a podcast. Our podcast is on there. They're not going to give us $10,000. But the
Quick
thing is,
reminder,
is it
though,
sounds-
to Mackenzie Scott.
Who just got remarried.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't care about making fun of Bezos the clown anymore.
Why not? Fuck that
Why
dude.
not?
Can I tell you though that so Audible and Amazon are the same like thing, and so if you want to be on both of them or Amazon Podcasts, you submit your feed there, and you have to. When you originally signed up, you had to say that you had to sign a thing that said you wouldn't say anything bad about Amazon on your podcast,
Oh my God.
and I was like, "Come at me, Amazon."
Yeah, please.
Please give us that press.
Please. Yeah, exactly. Please,
Exactly.
please give us that notoriety. But
I will
also,
make an entire podcast about that.
yeah, if Mackenzie Scott or anyone representing Mackenzie Scott would like to give us whatever amount of money we decided it should be,
I think it's $10 million a month.
I think it's $10 million a month.
I feel like we would come down in price if we're just being
No.
really honest.
Molly.
I would come down in price.
Molly, shh. Molly, God.
Stand together. We have to unionize now.
We can't. Look, we'll
Oh,
come down in
damn.
price. We will come down in price if Mackenzie Scott says no. Explicitly
She
says
has
no.
already given away like $6 billion.
So what's
Yeah.
another $10 million a month?
Exactly. It's a drop in the bucket. And we'll shit on her ex-husband.
Yeah.
Who deserves
Well,
it?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure when she's trying to decide whether to give to historically black colleges and universities or to a podcast that will trash talk her ex-husband, it's
Yeah.
probably
I mean,
like
she has enough
50-50.
money to do both. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
That's a fallacy,
Exactly.
Molly. Beth
Yes.
roasted you.
You just got roasted by Matt.
Gambini Gibbs over here.
Ooh.
Wow.
We're talking about the movie My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah,
That's
we are.
right.
Whoa.
We do
We're so
other.
close to finishing this podcast.
I'm
No, well,
trying.
you
but we
decided
keep talking about
to.
other things.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a mistake.
We
I'm
do
sorry.
other various fan engagement-based segments, but we don't have any time. If we last too much longer, Pesci will come back in and trap us again in his sphere
Yeah, it's
of
terrifying.
containment. So our rating system is, of course, Machio grits,
Of course.
which are, of course, boxes of grits with Ralph Macchio in a karate uniform promoting its fortified by karate slogan. Inside,
Yes.
as everyone remembers, are different colored gavel toys.
Yeah.
Dan, you gave it.
And they have inspirational messages on the
Oh,
side.
okay.
of them.
The
gavels.
gavels
Yeah.
or the boxes?
The gavels.
Nice. I
Wow.
love it.
Bigger than I imagined. Okay. On the outside of the gavel, or like you screw off one of the ends and there's a little scroll inside?
No. We just
On
keep
the
going.
outside. On the outside.
Is it
Dan,
like
you
flowing
gave it-
script or is it in like a
Jesus Christ.
Dan, you gave it
yeah.
4.
I what? I did
You
what?
gave it
What I
4.
do? I gave it
Predicted
4.
4. Others people were confident it was good, and you don't remember hating it.
I did not remember hating it. I did not hate it this time. Yeah, I think it was overall pretty enjoyable. I'll stick with my 4 Machio grits. Molly, give me an inspirational gavel message.
You're a winner.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
perfect.
Inspired. Beth, you gave it 5. You thought it would be funny and entertaining, and that's what
Yes,
a comedy is.
I agree that was what a comedy is. That's a comedy that I will watch again because I purchased it with my
Ooh.
money.
Bold move.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it. It made me laugh several times. I will watch that again.
Yep.
5
5.
gavels.
Molly?
Inspirational quote, please.
Kicking it real.
Oh, I love it.
You're inspired. My name is Dan. I gave it 5. I was going to swing for the fences. I love it. All still true. This movie made me laugh. It made me remember. It made me appreciate script writing. I loved how great it was. 5 again. Molly, inspirational quote, please.
Instead of karate, it's karat yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you inspired?
And then I'm inspired.
Okay, good.
Molly, you
Like a
predicted
tortured pun.
4. You're going to be bold, but not that bold.
You know what? I'll stick with my 4.
Great. 4.5,
Yeah.
right? Or was that something else?
There was a
No,
2
that was
and a
something
half
else.
Oh,
for something else. I don't remember.
never mind. I got confused.
Somebody, Rotten Tomatoes gave it Roger
Ebert.
Ebert
Oh,
gave
Roger
it 2.5.
Ebes. Roger Ebes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Molly, what's your
Great.
inspirational quote for yourself?
Yep.
You're a class act or
Ooh.
Oh, I get it.
actor.
Yeah, I get
act
it.
or yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man,
class.
this, again, I reiterate, trademark copyright. We'll work on the likeness of Ralph Macchio because this is going to fucking destroy the market. This is going to disrupt the grits market.
It's a must.
We're gonna
Watch out,
become-
Red Mill.
Yeah, we're going to become the Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos of grits, and then everyone will hate us.
And then somebody can make
we'll-
a podcast about us.
Exactly.
Ooh, I would pay them.
Please make a podcast trash.
Please. But only once we become super rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because otherwise you're punching down.
Yeah,
or
that hurt our
punching
feelings.
laterally.
We would all
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah.
I would.
But also, we will see you in hell from our grits-powered space station that orbits the Earth.
It's powered by grits?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, everything's grits in
Amazing.
the future.
Yeah, because we took over.
Yeah. So how many grit?
Yeah,
many
homininium,
grits
homillennium, homillennium.
Oh. How many grits
Billions.
does it take to grit to the center of a grit?
Oh, great.
Guess
Scott.
we'll never grit.
On the podcast. No, that's trademarked, copyright, registered ending for a show.
I just really feel like when we hit past midnight is when just
The magic hour happens.
Switching hour.
I wasn't gonna say that.
You don't think this is our best work?
This is our best work.
Yeah.
If you think this is our best work,
Tweet at us.
tweet at us, midnight best, or
Midnight
don't tweet
rest.
at us because it's not true.
Midnight
Wait,
rest
what?
or midnight rest? That's
Midnight
good.
midnight rest. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
they're
pretty
saying,
good.
like,
Or
shut the fuck
midnight
up and go to
get
bed.
some
Yeah, go to
rest.
bed.
Midnight resting.
That's
Yeah, okay.
fair.
Well.
I should be midnight resting. I swear to God, that Joe Pesci part where he couldn't get any sleep, I was like, I feel you, man.
I felt
Relatable.
it. Yep.
So many pigs outside my house. So many pigs on trains outside my house
Yeah.
with their steam whistles.
Hey, I was up at 2:30 in the morning checking on my child. No big deal.
Okay,
Ooh.
braggy.
Wow. Wow. I was up from 2:30 to 4:30. No bigs.
Yeah.
Well, I was up at 5:30 a.m. when my dogs decided they wanted to eat, and then I went back to bed for a few hours.
Oh, we should get you one of those bowls that is on a timer.
I got one of those, so I slept solid like a
Timer
rock.
bowl.
Nice.
Hey, the podcast is over.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.